All right, we're looking at Art 1, 6-3 notes, how we perceive shape, form, and space. So 6-1 was about shape and form. 6-2 we talked about space. 6-3 we're going to talk about how we perceive these things. So perceiving depth. So depth is how the length, the width, the depth of something that we're looking at. Your brain uses information from your eyes to create a three-dimensional image. Your eyes are a certain distance apart so that your brain can put them together and see everything that you see in 3 dimensions. If you only had one eye that worked, then you would be using just one eye and everything would be 2-dimensional in your vision, and then your mind would have to try to make a 3-dimensional work out of it. But with 2 eyes, it's much better. And so what we would normally do at this time during our class is we would cover one eye and take a walk out in the grass and look around with just one eye and feel that experience. It's pretty different. So I recommend you pause this video and go for a little walk with one eye covered. Just put your hand on your eye and don't use it for a little bit. And it's pretty weird. Look down at your feet when you walk around. Look far away, look close, and I think you might be surprised at how different the world looks with one eye covered. Point of view. Point of view is the angle from which you see an object. So that's just where you are when you are looking at something. So a lot of times in our regular life, we're just looking straight ahead on something. Sometimes we are down at the bottom of something and looking up. Sometimes we're in an airplane or something. We're up in an airplane and we're looking down. And your point of view can change how you understand or how you see an object. Just being from a different angle, you might understand the object differently. Now, we're going to talk about how artists create forms in space. So we're going to talk about the illusion of form. So when we draw something in 2 dimensions, a lot of times we try to make it look like it's 3 dimensions, but really we're drawing on a 2-dimensional surface. So we're going to talk about here the illusion of form, create the illusion of a 3D form in 2D on a 2D surface. So on a piece of paper, which is 1 dimension, we're going to try to make something look like it's 3-dimensional. And here are some tools that we use. And chiaroscuro is the arrangement of light and shadow, modeling or shading. So this is what we do in class when I tell you shade this area, make this darker, add more value here so that your shape starts looking more like a form and starts looking more 3-dimensional. So this is just shading is what this means. It's a weird word for shading. Highlights. Highlights are areas of white used to show the brightest spots. So a lot of times in an eye, I'll tell you, even if there isn't an eye, a highlight in your eye in a drawing, just put one there because it brings life to your eye. It also brings more of a 3-dimensional look to your eye, as well as the rest of the drawing or painting that we're working on. Highlights help create the illusion of 3 dimensions in a 2-dimensional surface. And that is the end of 6-3.